Hello, everyone. Nobody's here. I had to say hello just in case anybody pops up later in the replay. So I'm gonna do a reading today for the collective. I'm gonna start off with tarot, just to like get a. I'm gonna try something different. I usually start off with oracle cards and stuff, but I need to get more practice with my tarot. So I hope everybody's having a good day wherever you are. Let me see. I didn't put earlier. I was like, let me put some music on, and I didn't even put music on. So let me turn that off. I close that video, and then let's see. What do I want to listen to? Hello. Okay, let me see when somebody pops up. Then reminds me, put subscriber mode on. Put subscriber mode on. There. Hello, how you doing? Let me see what music I want to put on. Do 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 do. How come I feel like playing belly dancing music on? Let me see. Nací en el dunia. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, let's see what comes out for the collective. I wanted belly dancing music. Well, it's Arabic music, sorry, not belly dancing music. I like that song. Nascine Lidonia. Nascine Donia. I look at this guy. His name is Ali Lebanese. Look at him. He looks yummy. So I hope everybody's having a good day wherever they are, wherever you are. You're they and I am they too as well. All right, let's see. I have my Cosmic Seed Tarot deck. Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. Let's see what messages the collective need to know at this time. Just so everybody knows, I only speak English. If you want me to curse you out, I could do that in Spanish too. Sometimes people ask me if I speak Hindi, and earlier today I had someone ask me if I speak French. Parlez-vous français? Français. It's funny because my last person, he spoke French, but he was from Africa. Côte d'Ivoire. Okay, from the Ivory Coast. All right, let's not tap into that energy. Wow. You know, maybe I'm going to start off with oracle cards. You know what's interesting? I bought 3 tarot decks with me and 2 oracle decks. Let's do with the what's the news. So earlier today I used this specific deck, and I like to use oracle cards just to get a general theme to narrow down what a reading is on. Because tarot could be interpreted in different ways. You could read it, depending on the cards, you could read it for business, love, money, general. So let's see if we can get a general theme with the oracle cards. What does the collective need to know? I actually wanted to do a you versus them type of reading with all signs, but that will take some time, and I don't know if I got stamina like that. Let's see what messages the collective need to know. Bonnie and Clyde receipts. cards came out together. SOS knocked up. That came out together. All right. Long haul. Numbing the cleanse. And new boo, new love, learning each other, flirtations. Okay. So Clyde, Bonnie and Clyde. So it's like a ride or die type of energy. But then the thing is, you know what's so funny? Because Bonnie and Clyde, they were bank robbers, I believe. And they were guilty as charged. And the receipts card says that. So I don't know, some of you are like in a Bonnie and Clyde ride or die type of connection. I don't know if you heard this song before. Okay, I like Arabic music, okay? Don't judge me. Anybody who loves music likes all kinds of music, right? But I don't really like country music. I don't want to hear about like somebody's pickup truck running over a dog and, you know, I don't want to hear about that. Bonnie and Clyde, Ride or Die, Us Against the World, dedicated partnership. So this is like, but the thing is evidence, guilty as charged, exposed. You know, like automatically I thought about Bonnie and Clyde, you know, they're guilty, they go on crime sprees and get gunned down by police and all that, right? But the thing is like the dedicated partnership. It's like someone who is your ride or die. The person that will be there for you, will be support you, will hide the evidence, you know, that type of support. And it doesn't have to be like a romantic relationship. It could be a friend that, you know, is very supportive, is always there for you. But the thing is, receipts, evidence, guilty as charged, exposed, you know, that's the thing that's a little iffy. Like, I don't know how that comes together because it's giving criminal intent. I don't know if anybody saw that show, Criminal Intent. Law and Order, Criminal Intent. That's so random. That is so random. I'm going to read them separately. I'm going to take the new boo card and add that to the spread because I noticed it. It was at the bottom of the deck. And then underneath I was sipping. All right, Bonnie and Clyde receipts, SOS, knocked up. When the SOS and knocked up card came out together, it just made me think somebody got pregnant. Unexpected pregnancy, unplanned. Hopefully someone isn't pregnant and they have a high risk pregnancy. If not, if that's the case, I hope that your pregnancy, just bed rest, take care of yourself, do what you need to do. I don't know if somebody is finding out that somebody has gotten somebody else pregnant, or some of you are in a Bonnie and Clyde connection. I'm going to keep saying that because that's what the card says. It's a ride or die connection, dedicated partnership. Someone that you're, I don't know, someone's finding out someone got pregnant. Somebody found out somebody was pregnant, but it's like somebody is willing to dedicate to for the long haul. Dedicated, long haul, in it to win it, long-term intentions, invested. I don't know if like some of you get in this unexpected pregnancy, and the receipts could be like the proof, the pregnancy test. SOS. Assistance needed. There could be somebody who needs support from a friend because they found out that they're pregnant, and it doesn't have to be romantic too. It could be like somebody who has a friend that they could rely on, who will be there supportive, and somebody may find out they're pregnant unexpectedly and they need the support of a friend to help them. But the friend is like going to be there for the long haul. So like, I don't know, like how this relates to anybody. This is so random and weird, but that's why I'm going to clarify them separately. But I think I should. But I don't know if somebody, because earlier today I had somebody come up and they were talking about how they were um, basically abandoned because they were pregnant. I don't know if this is her reading, and if it is, it, like her, like the person could have been numbing themselves. Maybe they have somebody. I mean, somebody could be dealing with somebody that they got pregnant by, that who has issues with addictions, who is constantly using substances to numb themselves because of whatever reason. And usually, when people are numbing themselves, it's because they experience some sort of trauma. If you really think about it, and they want to escape from it, and self-medicating addictions, irrational behavior, maybe finding some sort of excuse or whatever to, but then it's like the person is needing to do some sort of cleanse, some sort of rehab, because they detox, ridding, negativity, and purification. If this is the person, like the story somebody shared earlier today, where she was basically left to take care of her child herself, her separating, I'm not being involved with this person that's numbing. The cleanse is like it's allowing somebody new to come in, meeting somebody new, new boo, new love, learning each other, flirtations. That this could be her reading, because sometimes when I start to engage with people and then I start getting so if I don't know if this is your reading, and you know who you are, if you're watching right now, you might be meeting somebody new because you rid yourself of that negative energy. Somebody may have found receipts, proof of somebody engaging in some sort of toxic behaviors, whether it's actual, or smoking, drinking, snorting, all that stuff. They found proof of that. And it's been a long-term intention. If you resonate with the story at all, and it doesn't have to necessarily be the person that was on earlier, it could be any one of you. Some of you may be meeting a new person who've experienced some sort of stuff in the past, overcome stuff, maybe experienced some sort of addictions or behaviors that weren't the healthiest, and they went through a process of cleansing, detoxifying themselves, healing process. They put in the time, they put in the effort, and now they're at a better energy. Because they got the necessary help they needed, because they had the support of a friend, support of a family member, somebody who will always be there for them, right? And now they could be entering this new phase where they're meeting someone new who will be either the person they could have a child with in the future, hopefully this isn't a rebound type of connection. I mean, it could be if the person doesn't do the necessary healing, especially if they were dealing with someone who was toxic and they had to separate from that person who may have had the addictions. Because it could be someone who had the addictions. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be substances, but it could include substances, or it could just be certain behaviors, mindsets, patterns, repeating the same patterns. Just moving away from this energy is what's allowing a new person to come in. The cleanse, the detox, the ridding, negativity, purification. Sometimes you need the time and the space, especially at the distance, to allow yourself the time to heal and let the energy, that negative energy, dissipate, because you don't want to be trying to start something new while you're still stuck in the past, And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because of the rebound card being underneath sipping. So if anybody, look at this, the Turned card came up. I don't know if somebody was dealing with somebody who always was, see this, the Turned. Sex, drugs, alcohol, surface pleasures. Someone could have had like those types of addictive patterns, and they could have, like this is how the receipts, basically the receipts being the sipping, because maybe somebody was talking, spreading the news, had receipts, documentation. I don't know if somebody was dealing with someone who they thought was the ride or die, and they found out that this person was probably going out, meeting new people, and possibly got somebody else pregnant. It could be like so many different scenarios, you know? So many different scenarios here. Okay. You know, sometimes it is like that. When you meet someone, you think it's going to be a long-term relationship. It's going to be a long haul, but then you find out like, oh yeah, this person's not the person I thought they were. But for some of you, you could be meeting a new person. And the way I'm reading it like Lenormand. Because Lenormand, you could read across. You could go from each corner. You could read each card together. You could read them as pairs, trios, quads, duos. You know, so I'm reading it in different ways. So, like say, like for some of you, if you're meeting somebody new, and I'm collecting Bonnie and Clyde, this new boo could be your ride or die connection. You know? And it could be the type of person that you can see a long haul, like the future with. Somebody that you can be with for the long haul. Now, with the receipts and numbings, there may have been proof that someone may have been engaging in certain types of behaviors because they were trying to numb out from whatever they may have been experienced, or maybe they just have an addiction, you know, some sort of addiction. And addiction doesn't have to be a substance. It could be behavior or mindset, but it could also be sex. Also, gambling, pornography, you know. But there could be some of you that urgently need to get a cleanse, because if you've been around certain energies, you need to cleanse yourself of that energy. Like any toxic energies, anything that could be creating stagnancy with anything that you may be dealing with, or it could be putting you in this type of this energy where you're attracting negative stuff, you know, like you seem to have bad luck. If you feel that way, if you feel like the bad things are happening, then a lot of bad things are happening. Like it seems like the world, the universe is against you. It seems that way. The universe will never be against you. But it could be some of you just probably have some negative energy that you need to cleanse. But it could be also you going within to deal with whatever emotions, anything possibly. It could be you, or it could be somebody else too. Please take the message as it resonates, because I don't know who I'm reading for, or who may watch this replay in the future, you know. Some of you might need to get a cleanse, because there could just be negative energy around you. Also, like doing the work within. I'm going to bring this up because yesterday I was watching this video that was because I know I feel like I'm a spiritual person, but I do like to see how we're responsible for how our behaviors and our belief systems and stuff, you know, like if we're not critical thinkers, then we're going to accept everything for what it is rather than trying to analyze it and see the validity of it. You know, if anything that's being said to you, whatever you're learning, the information you're seeking or you're receiving, is it accurate or not? You know, is it factual? But when you're spiritual, it's not so much anything you can really like pinpoint. There's no cold hard facts other than people's experiences and stuff. So I was watching this video that was talking about how, you know, when something bad is going on around us, we usually in the spiritual community, we tend to like blame ourselves, but sometimes it's not us, it's sometimes how the system is built. And the video was about Lilith the Black Moon and Crone Tarot. She shared this video, But the only reason I'm bringing this up is because, sometimes we tend to internalize things, but the thing is sometimes the system is built to basically, it's built for us to fail. So, but I always think this, that it's important for us to do the necessary work to gain understanding about certain things. And we can use different tools. People can use therapy. Some people go to astrology. Some people go to therapy. Do what you feel is right for you. So the whole point of me saying that is, if some of you are experiencing certain negativity or like a streak of bad luck, look at what is going on around you and look at what's going on within you. Is there anything that you can try to change? Is there anything in the environment that you can change? Is there anything within the system that you can change? Some things are, especially as feminine energies, as women, I'm going to say woman, because masculine energies don't tend to be affected by this other than people of color. And I'm talking about in the US, how the system is built. I know I sound a little political and shit, but as a person of color and the financial inequality, the economic inequality is, so the whole point of that is just sometimes you have to look within, but then also you have to look at what's going on around you. Do what you can for yourself to get the assistance that you need, to do the cleansing that you need, the energetic cleansing that you need. Now with the knocked up, some of you may be meeting somebody new, and there's a possibility that you could get pregnant by this person. So if you're someone who can get pregnant or can get someone pregnant, I highly suggest that you take precautions in case that's something that you do not want. Now, this is a person that you feel like is going to be the ride or die, the person that you can spend your entire life with. You can imagine that, having a long-term future with them, then congratulations. But take the messages as they resonate. Okay? I felt like I had to say that. I think I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to do something different. Now, I don't want to clarify that so much. I think I spent too much time on those cards. Let's see what else. Can I use this stuff? Sorry. Can I get some messages for the collective because I need to know? The devil. The devil, Capricorn energy. And she said, okay, we got the devil card coming out. Then we have the Nine of Wands, Wounded Warrior. I'm going to get all the cards out. Then see what comes out. So we have the devil, the Nine of Wands, Chariot, Nine of Coins, Five of Cups, Ten of Wands, Justice, and the Two of Wands. With the Master of Cups, which is the King of Cups in this deck, even though it has a feminine figure, but you know what I'm getting is like automatically, I feel like a lot of you are going to see success, abundance, fairness, justice, balance, because some of you you're going to be at the tail end of something, because we have the devil and the Five of Cups. The devil we take out the negative connotation, Capricorn energies very much focused with success, very hardworking, very dedicated. And the shadow aspect of the Capricorn is control, obsession, limitations, fear, what does exist in all the signs, but we're looking at the double card, and that's what it's usually tied to. So some of you could have been working very hard on something that you have faced a lot of setbacks with. You put in a lot of time and energy, but then there was also disappointments, failures at some point. But some of you continue to persevere over that. And then now it's like you're going to be at the tail end and things are going to start to balance out. You see how this is the 10 of Wands. This is the end of the burden. 10 of Wands is like a burden. But it's like you're reaching the tail end of that, where you're going to be closing out that cycle where the hard work is going to pay off. You're going towards success and victory, which is the Chariot card, and balance, justice, fairness. It could have to do with some sort of legal battle. It could have to do with something you finally seeing the success with whatever you've been working towards, or seeing a judgment that ends up favorable on your end. Depending on if that's a court issue. 9 of Coins is about being at this place of financial stability. It's also the Capricorn's card too. Whatever you're working on, I said it's going to be the end of it. You're reaching the tail end of it. That you're going to see success, fairness, justice. It could, like I said, court. It could be a judgment in your favor. That maybe there's some sort of settlement agreement, or even a judgment where if you were say suing somebody, you'll be awarded a judgment, something like that. With the 2 of Wands, you're going to be at this place where you're going to be deciding what you're going to be doing next after this happens. After you reach this level of independence, financial stability, security, being at this really good, secure place, you're going to be already starting to plan what your next steps are. With the King of Cups being at the bottom of the deck, with the 3 of Coins and the Sacred Masculine, some of you may be, if this is involving like money, like a judge, some of you may be at this really powerful place. Not only were you feeling emotionally fulfilled, but you're going to be able to, like what I'm getting now, like some of you, it could be a promotion that you put a lot of love and care in what you did, what you put in. Like some of you may have like that touch, that gentle touch, or it's like that touch. I don't want to say it could be Midas touch, but with the fact that it's the King of Cups showing up, it's like you are very much emotionally connected to whatever you're doing. With the 3 of Coins coming out, it's like a collaboration. Maybe some of you were leading a team, or you're going to be leading a team, because you put like maybe your heart and soul in whatever it is that you were working on. You see how there's 3 people here, and then she's here, like she's standing out. I don't know if they're like, some of you were like a promotion. It was between you and 2 other people, or it could be maybe there was like some sort of position that you had to go through like separate interviews. Like they have different rounds of interviews, but then ultimately some of you are going to be the chosen one. So the boss, the leader, the head honcho, whoever, because the Emperor is a boss energy, is going to select you, because I guess the amount of dedication, passion that you have, and emotional connection in that sense, and maybe even the fact that you work well under pressure, is what's gonna be what brings you this level of success. You know, see the 501s underneath. It's like indicating that there was some sort of competition. So some of you may have been like like applying for a competitive role, or you applied for a competitive promotion. So that it was promotions. You know, certain things are competitive, but it's like you're gonna stand out above the competition. And I'm going by the imagery of this card. You see? There's two people here, and then there's this energy in the middle that's like standing up. So it's like two people are going to lose. Two people are going to not be chosen, but the person in the middle is. You see how the pentacles around her head? For some of you, it could be you were in competition with people of the opposite sex. You know, even though it has a feminine energy here. Oh, no, actually, no. No. It could be the same sex. But the fact that I thought that, it could be. It could be some of you may be in this type of field where it could be masculine dominated, but somehow you outshine these two people. From here, like I'm looking at the screen, the cards, they look like dudes, but then I didn't realize they're wearing dresses and stuff because the way I had the card. So, but it could be like, and if you look at it, they look the same. You stood out, you were different. These two people, whoever you were in competition with, they were like carbon copies. But you stood out. You were different. You see how she's dressed differently? They're sitting there looking like the double mint twins, and she's over here like unique, interesting, different. So, yeah, you stood out against the competition. Somebody's going to be heartbroken. Somebody's being anxious. Some of you may be anxious about this, may have been like worried that you wouldn't get it. With this 9 of Swords being here, the card of anxiety. Maybe some of you were up all night thinking about it. Maybe some of you are scared of spiders too. Some of you are scared of spiders. I love spiders. But some of you may be scared of spiders because you see the anxiety card, and the fact that there's a spider there. Some of you may have a fear of spiders. Some of you may even be born the year of the snake, or even have a fear of snakes. Anything's possible with tarot, right? But yeah, some of you just like worried needlessly because you stood out. It's interesting, and if you look at her, I want some of you to know if you felt like you had people, I don't know, if evil eye energy. The fact that I'm seeing this, she's wearing like the evil eye pendant. Some of you may consider getting that for yourself because just to avoid any issues with jealousy, because like say you get a job at a company and you're new and you're different, right? Or you stand out against these two people and it was a promotion. These people might be sending you evil eye energy because you got something that they wanted, you know. And this energy came out last week too. So I don't know. Is this like promotion season or something? Well, think about it. We're almost at the end of the fiscal year in some places, because I think some people have fiscal years that end on June 30th or something. But I just noticed that. I'm just remembering that. But I would say if some of you believe like in that, get that an evil eye pendant or something, just to protect yourself from jealous energies and stuff. But yeah, like to me, that's positive. Like some of you just kept working. You probably thought it wasn't going to happen, but it's like your hard work is going to pay off. If it's not a promotion or anything, it could just be like maybe whatever. It could be a judgment involving a Cancer energy, Capricorn energy, and we have a Libra energy as well with the Justice card and the Chariot. Let me put this here. I'll put the cards in the order they were in. I want to get another card. I want to clarify the Devil and the Five of Cups. Lovers and Six of Swords. No, I'm segueing into a different reading. For some of you, there could have been some sort of breakup between you and it could be a Capricorn energy, or it could just be somebody that you felt like was not, like, you know, felt trapped or stuck with. Felt like there was no growth or stagnancy because of maybe there was addictions, maybe there was bad habits, maybe there was limiting beliefs, just toxicity all around. So some of you may be breaking up with somebody because we have the Lovers card and then the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is leaving behind past conflict, past pain, healing, going towards peace. So some of you, and with the Lovers card, is indicating like it could be a romantic relationship. For some of you, if it's not that, some of you may have to make a decision about leaving something behind to go towards peace. Some of you, because the Lovers card is also known as the Choice card. So if it's in that context and not a lover's relationship, some of you may be leaving behind a period of your life where you felt like there was not much growth. Maybe you felt like you weren't in the best mental headspace. This could be internal, right? Maybe it could be a toxic work environment that you decided to move away from, because the Lovers, you can think about partnerships. It no longer was working, so it was time for you to move on. It may be sad and disappointing to have to end something, or it could have been a situation that brought you a lot of grief and sadness. So it's time for you to move ahead and see what else is out there for you. It's like you're going to be going into a new adventure, and if it's a love situation, some of you may be leaving behind a love situation and going towards one that will be more aligned to you. But make sure you're looking forward. Don't look back. Unless it's to see how far you've come. That's what they say. Don't look back. Just the only time you look back is if you want to see how far you've come in your life. Because sometimes you got to leave the past in the past. And that could be what the Devil card is. That some of you were still bound and chained and bound. I want to say bound and gagged to the past. And now you're making the decision to leave that behind. Finally leave that behind and choose to be in harmony, to be at peace. The Six of Swords and then the Lovers is the sixth major arcana. So number 6 may be significant to you, or number 66. You may be seeing those numbers. That may be a number in your license plate. It could be June 6th that you made this decision, or June 6th is your birthday. Gemini season. Oh, happy birthday to Geminis. I haven't really been saying that. I forget to say that. Some of you could be Gemini, because the Lovers is Gemini energy as well. And it's interesting. Some of you could be moving away from the past situation, and you may be wanting to manifest love, because we just had the new moon in Gemini on Sunday. Okay, so tell me about this 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. Oh crap. You saw those cards fall out. The Cosmic Seed. I'm glad I brought the book, because this card I always forget. The Messenger of Cups. 9 of Wands and 10 of Wands. Some of you are closing out a cycle that you've been working like you've been through the ringer, and it could be tied to this what the 5 of Cups and the Devil energy. But separately, some of you put in the time and effort. You went through your losses. You went through your gains. But now you're closing out a cycle that has been burdensome to you. And it's interesting. The seed is basically like the new beginning. It's what all beginnings come from, some sort of seed. I'm gonna get the book just because I don't use this that frequently, so I don't really know what that means. But I'll read from the book and I'll show you the card. Cosmic Seed. It's number 22. The cosmic seed is the seed of infinite potential. It exists in the quantum realm and can move between dimensions, realities, in all directions, and through matter. It is the intelligence from all ideas and things are created. This card is a reminder of your superpower. You have access to the infinite in every moment. what are you creating with your thought, power, and influence? You know? And we got the Messenger of Cups. You know, let me see something, because I get this mixed up. Because now it says Messenger of Cups, and to me, the messenger is the page. But I want to be sure. Let's see, the Messenger of Cups. That's how I know. Like, I'm not going to read. I know what the Messenger of Cups is. I mean, I know what the card means. I just need to know if it's the right one. Okay, yeah, a messenger is a page. Okay, because the action will be the knights, because knights take action. Pages, they learn, they observe, they take in information, and it's young energy, youthful energy. So some of you may be creating something new, and I should have, look how stupid. No, I'm not dumb. Okay, I'm not going to do that to myself. That's not nice. We got to be kind to ourselves. I could have just looked at this. Look at that. That would have told me right away that was the Page of Cups. Because the Page of Cups has that damn cup with the fish cup. But that's okay, right? You know, we live and we learn, right? Yeah, but some of you may be growing something new. You may have like closed out a cycle now, and that has been burdensome, and now you're renewed with a sense of hope, wonder. You possibly are going to start something that you really care about, something that you are just like in tune with. Like in tune with, you know, because you see the crescent moon, and this is funny because we are in a waxing moon phase, you know, after the new moon phase on Sunday, and now it's Wednesday, so I'm pretty sure the moon is a crescent right now. Let me go see what phase it is. I have to laugh at myself. I'm like, I should have just looked at the card. Yeah, we're in a waxing phase. It's 11% right now, the illumination. So waxing crescent moon right now. And we see that here, this is a waxing crescent moon. So some of you may have made some sort of intention, set an intention, or have, not everybody does rituals, but some people do rituals for manifestation. But, and you see that this is a new beginning, a new slate. Right? And this is stuff coming, you know, eventually, like whatever you put your intention to, and for the new moon phase. And then when we go into the full moon in Capricorn, which will be on, to remember, is it the 18th or the 19th? Around, no. I think it's like, let me look this up. I need to, because I could do it mentally, but I shouldn't be doing too much mental math right now, because it makes me lose track. So the 29th is when we're going to have the full moon in Capricorn, and that's going to be in Cancer season. So it's like the way it works with manifestation is that you set a manifestation during the new moon phase, but that as the moon is becoming full, this is when you see the realization of your manifestation. As it's going through the different phases, you have to go through moments of reassessment to see how far along you see progress. Like, if, you know, is there anything, tweaks that you need to make? Is this something that you should just completely scrap? This is what the whole process of the full moon and new moon cycle is, you know. It's like, if you think about like us, a fertile woman, even though I said earlier that the factory is closed, I still have my period, you know. When we go through that phase, it's like our body is going through that cleanse that's allowing us to a new opportunity to get pregnant, you know. So it's this, you said, a menstrual cycle phase, a menstrual phase. Menstrual cycle phase is tied to the moon phase, 28-day cycle, you know. So some of you, you're going to be putting your efforts now to some sort of manifestation, a new seed that you're planting. But it's going to require you to make sure that you're staying in the positive mindset. You learn from your lessons, you know. Of course, you may experience some sort of stress along the way. And there may be times that you feel like giving up because you feel the burden's too much for you. But the thing is, if this is something that you really care about, then you won't let anything deter you. You will not lose hope. You will not lose faith. that whatever it is that you want to bring into fruition, it wouldn't be possible. It won't happen. You know, you will continue to believe that as long as you hold on to that faith and belief, and you try to focus on that more so than the negativity, more so than the failures. You know, something, you could be creating something new for yourself, but just as long as it still aligns with you and your heart space, you know, because our emotions are tied to our heart, you know. So if you're planting some sort of seed for yourself, make sure that this is something that aligns to you. You know, this is where the faith and connection stay intact, you know, and it isn't lost whatever during whatever struggles you may experience with whatever manifestation you may be setting forth. But I know I mentioned earlier that some of you could be closing up, and it could be that, you know, within the next moon phase that we have, which is on the 29th, the Capricorn full moon, you may be seeing something culminate. This could be something that you've been working on for a long time, and you're maybe starting to see more progress, like you're getting closer. But it could just, I think it's more so something new that you're starting, you know, that you need to continue to remain emotionally connected to, not where you're attached to the outcome, but more like you're connected to the reason why you're doing something. Even when you feel like giving up, it feels like it's too hard, like you're doing everything yourself, make sure that you're getting the necessary support where it's needed. If it's something that's involving other people, but if it's not, also make sure that you're taking advantage of any resources that are available for you to help make your manifestation come true, you know, because I know there's a lot of stuff out there. And I speak in that mindset for in the US, despite this government, whatever this shit is, whatever. Don't want to talk about politics here, but we know. Okay, so now the Chariot and Justice, what does this have to do with? What is the Chariot and Justice? I like that the Chariot is something that's moving forward. It's moving forward. It's, I want to say, like, I'm just imagining, like, the Chariot is like, they say it's driven by an emperor energy, right? The emperor and the empresses get on the chariot. They get to ride the chariot, right? But it's like the chariot is heading towards justice, towards some sort of balance. Well, let me see what this is about. What is the Chariot and Justice, Spirit? Well, I don't really like when my cards come out in chunks like that. Okay, so the Four of Coins. There may have been some sort of pause, delay, or someone holding back. With the Master of Coins, which is basically the King of Pentacles, and then the Two of Cups. That's not bad. Because the Four of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, that would be Virgo energy. Is that Virgo? No. That's not Virgo. Some of you might be Virgo. I thought about Virgo for some reason. The Four of... Is it Capricorn energy? I forget. Like, whatever. It's an earth sign energy. Some of you may have been, like, staying in your comfort zone, or you haven't seen any movement. Some of you probably were, like, you just at this comfortable place where you feel secure, you have everything you need. But I don't, like, the fact that the Two of Cups came out with this, I don't know if this is, like, romantic or not. Okay. That answered my question. Let me see underneath. Because I see the Ten of Cups with the Ace of Cups and the Star. Now, Ten of Cups, that has to do with like emotional fulfillment, a wish come true, right? Being like, that's family. It's marriage, family, happily ever after type of energy. With the Master of Coins, that's Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo energy, earth sign energy. With the Two of Cups, I need to clarify that, because I really, like, you could be happy and fulfilled and not in a relationship, right? Because I don't automatically want to go to love, but I don't know if some of you, but the Two of Cups doesn't have to be love. It could be like partnering with the right people, friends, family. So like, but it could be that, because Justice with the Two of Cups, you know, that's giving like marriage vibes. Justice, court. People get married at court. You need to get like the documents. At least in New York, I don't know how it works in other states. In New York, you get a license and there's a marriage certificate through the court system. Even if you have a wedding ceremony, you still need to get a marriage certificate. You still need a marriage license. So for some of you, it could be like you and you and somebody else, your connection is heading into like some sort of commitment. This could have been something that you didn't think was possible, because maybe somebody felt very comfortable in it not being a marriage. You know how some people, they don't want to get married. They want to keep the relationship as it is. But for some of you, you could actually be getting engaged. You could be getting married. And now, like for some of you, it could be a wish come true to finally have this type of, but maybe some of you, no, I don't think is this somebody new though? Ace of Cups. Yeah. Yeah, some of you, I don't know, we got Cancer, and Justice is Libra. So Chariot is Cancer, Libra is the Justice card, and we have Aquarius, which is the Star. I think some of you may be meeting somebody new, because the Ace of Cups is new love. And since I'm getting marriage, that's why I was like, I had to check. I was like, wait a minute, is this romantic or not? And the Ten of Cups kind of was like, okay, but then the Ace of Cups is like new love. Okay, so you may be meeting somebody new. Or this could be somebody you're already dealing with. They're a new person in your life. And you could be, this person could be, it could be Cancer, Libra, any earth sign energy, or air sign energy. It could be any sign. It doesn't really matter, because we have cups here, and then we have the coins. But some of you may be meeting the person that you're supposed to be, you will be getting married to, the person that you can have a family with. This person could be like the person that you probably dreamt of, you wanted, like the type of person you want. It's like they're like a wish come true. Some of you could be have Mexican ancestry, because I see they look Mexican, you know. Pueblo. That could be New Mexico. Isn't that Pueblo, New Mexico? You got ties to deserts, because I see cacti. But I see like a little boy with a little sombrero, and then sombrero. Let me say like a Latina, because I'm Latina. And then you see the couple here. What is that? I don't know. Some of you are, I don't know. That guy looks like he's wearing a dress, but I don't really know much about the Mexican culture, if the men wear anything like that. But it looks like a man and a woman and a child. Like for some of you, you could be meeting the person that you're going to have a family with. Or for some of you, if you're already in a relationship, you already have a child with this person. And your child might be between 7 and 8 years old. I would even say 9. 7, 8, 9 years old. I'm just going by the imagery here. Like some of you could be meeting the person that you're going to have a child with, or you already have a child with. The person you're going to get married, have a family with, and have a little boy. Okay, I think I still have too much on that. Okay, the 9 of coins. So some of you, you could be in your independent energy. You could be at a very good place mentally, emotionally, financially. You feel like you're fulfilled in some way. You're heading towards Empress type energy, you know, because the 9 of coins is considered like the mini arcana, minor arcana. Why is that mini? Somebody's name Mini. Mini. So I can have a mini something. With the 2 of wands, like if you're in this really good place, you reach this place where you feel like a place of status in some way. Maybe you're heading towards some sort of status. Maybe you're thinking about what your next step is so that you can attain some sort of status. But with the 2 of wands, that's like deciding what direction, what choice, what action you need to take. So some of you could be at a crossroads with something. You could be thinking about investments, how you could build your wealth. Oh my gosh, that's a reminder. Gotta do my pension papers. Oh my gosh, you gotta remember that. Thank you for the reminder, whoever this reading's for. I just forgot I had to submit them. But some of you may be at a crossroads about like what step, what action you should take next. If you've already achieved some sort of achievement, or you feel like you're in a really good place financially, even like emotionally, and like you have everything you want, you feel safe, secure, or stable. But I want to know, what is this 9 of coins with the 2 of wands? What's this? It could be about work. That's a lot of cards that came out. Some of you could have gotten a divorce because I got the 9 of swords with the 3 of swords and then the 10 of cups. Some of you could have undergone some sort of divorce or breakup in a relationship, and you're now at this place where you're single, ready to mingle. You may be like feeling really good. You did your healing. You did everything you needed to do. And then the cards that came, these are the cards that fell. So the 3 of swords, 9 of swords, and the 10 of cups. So some of you could be divorced and now you could be single, basking in your independence or whatever that, however that means to you. But then you, well, yeah, action of swords. You may be thinking about what action you need to take. This is thinking. Action of swords is someone who acts on their thoughts, their ideas. And you may have many ideas, but what you have in mind is, some of you could be wanting to start a business, a small business. Maybe I want to say woman-owned business because there's a bunch of women here, right? But then we have the 10 of coins showing up. That has to do with financial abundance, stability. So I feel like whatever it is, this is positive. And I say the reason why it's positive is like, if you were in some sort of situation in the past, that whatever I would say, if you did healing and you're transmuting your energy, like, because whatever pain, you turn your pain into passion, or some stuff like that. You know that quote, turn your pain into passion. I know it's not pain into pleasure. It's the pain into passion, right? So some of you, whatever energy you put towards this, you directed it towards yourself. You're in a better place now. You're thinking about, maybe you, like earlier we were talking about a promotion or something, like competition and stuff. So maybe say if that's you unlocked some status or level upgrade. Maybe you wanting more. you know more is possible because of what you've already achieved with your healing itself. But you're just like, you may have a lot of ideas, but it's like whatever your idea is, it's going to be successful. It's going to work because you got the Three of Pentacles. You may be having, like, I don't know if you're someone who wants, earlier I said about investments. Some of you may be looking for investors for something that you may be working on. I don't know, I'm getting like CEO, but it's like something that has to do with money. Elephants may be significant to you. My elephants also indicate stability, strength, power. Some of you may be in your power right now and know that whatever decisions you make, whatever path you're going to take is going to lead to some sort of financial success for you. Because for some of you, if you resonate with this, you've already seen it happen. But it's like you have thinking about what's next, what's the next step, what can I do? Whatever idea you have is going to lead to abundance. Just make sure it aligns with your purpose. I like that the elephants are here too, because it makes me think about Lord Ganesh, and Lord Ganesh is the remover of blockages. If you were in a situation where and it doesn't have to be a divorce, maybe you were say you work for a company for so long and you move it away, or you're going to move away from something traditional and move into something non-traditional. Maybe you want to be your own boss. Like I said, you want to start your own business. You divorcing yourself, and divorce, we know divorce be separation, detachment, ending. Whatever you ended, it's removing those blockages and what's bringing success, But it's like whatever your ideas are, make sure that you take the time to review any documents, like you do the necessary research. Don't act on impulse. To get everything that you need in order before you take the next step with whatever you decide to do, just so that you can avoid any drama, any disappointment as much as possible. Because whenever you're starting something new, there may be setbacks and stuff, but you kind of want to minimize that as much as you can by getting the right information that will work for whatever. And I like there's a triangle here, so this is about you. Look at this, the triangle. I don't know, some of you are and then you have two people going to work under you, or you have an idea and that you have two friends that are going to help you, or two investors that are going to help you with whatever you're creating. Avoid any lack mindset, because maybe some of you feel like you don't have the necessary resources, so you may be looking for backers, because you see the Five of Pentacles here. The Five of Pentacles, someone who feels like they're missing something. Well, it's like maybe some of you, I want to say, don't be afraid to ask for help. If there's something you have an idea about, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you need help with the Five of Pentacles, this person, you see her, she has that desperate look. Because with one ask, you could ask somebody, they may be able to help you. And then this is what's going to turn that wheel. Don't let your pride get the best of you. If you need help, ask for the help, because you'll get the necessary help you need. And then that's going to bring the Wheel of Fortune. It's like and then the Wheel of Fortune, you got the Ten of Pentacles showing up here. So if you need help, don't think you have to do everything yourself, because maybe you were doing something before and it didn't work out because you were carrying the burden yourself. It caused a lot of stress, anxiety, sleepless nights, possibly. You probably weren't even sleeping. You probably had insomnia, if this resonates with you. But it's like, but if something ended, something failed, it's probably because you didn't ask for the help you needed, and you felt like you did it yourself, and then it just became too much that it was something you had to release. But if you ever find yourself in this place, I always say, I ain't too proud to beg. I ain't too proud to beg. I'm not saying go begging but it doesn't, just because you ask for help doesn't mean you're begging. Okay? And I know that as someone who doesn't like to ask for help, I know it's not me begging. It's just like I want to do it myself, and that's something I have to let go of, you know. But asking for help doesn't mean you're begging, okay? So some of you needed to hear that because that could be the blockage too. And the only reason why I'm bringing blockages because Lord Ganesh is a Hindu god that helps remove blockages, redirects your path, helps you go around anything that may block you, might divert your path, you know, just to keep you on track. It may take you off track just to get you on the right path too. But sometimes when you hold back and don't ask for help, that's creating a blockage in itself too. So I hope that reading, the entire reading, the mini readings I did in between, I hope they were helpful in some way. But I didn't even show you at the bottom of the deck was also the Three of Cups. So I feel like number 3 may be significant because we have the Three of Cups there. And then the Three of Swords. And the Three of Coins. You know? So, and number 22 could be significant to you too. So I hope the reading was helpful in any way possible. Any of the readings, because I did a whole reading with the tarot cards and then I broke each down into mini readings. So I hope that was helpful in some way. Try to get as much messages as I can, you know, because I never know who will watch. Okay. Let me see what else. Hey, Jen. Hi, Ariel. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the likes. I hope the messages help you. Anyone who liked the video, the live stream, sorry. It's going to be a video later on, right? So I want to go into the love vibes deck. Let me see what time it is. All right. I'm going to do a specific love reading. Let's see what cards we get. Hi, Mama. How are you? Haven't seen you in a bit. I hope everything's going well with you. Okay, we're going into the love vibes deck. Just to save time, I'm going to randomly choose cards, okay? Okay, I'm going to take that one so you can see. I'm taking them from random places. I'll put this one up here. Here, and then I got 6 cards at the bottom of the deck. Happily ever after. We got the infinity symbol here. All right. You're no longer wondering if it's the right person. You're building something beautiful with them. Okay, that's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what's going on here. I'm going to read these together if they make sense, if I can. If not, I'll read them individually. Okay. I think some of you may be breaking up with somebody or disconnecting, detaching from somebody who you felt like was playing games with you. And you're deciding to put yourself first. But there may be somebody new around you who, a secret admirer, this secret admirer energy. But I'm glad you're here. I'm doing well too. Thank you, Monette. The secret admirer, some of you may have a secret admirer, and this energy has been coming a lot lately. And this person is someone that is infatuated by you. But in order for you to be sure that this isn't someone who is, you know, going to do a repeat cycle with you where it's another person playing games or you feel like you're being played with, you know, it's important for you to have, you know, be on the same page. Have open communication, establish whatever it is, your standards or your expectations from the get-go so that this person and you are on the same page. And that this is also a way for you to let the person know where your boundaries are. Because if they know they're not aligned with whatever it is that you would like for yourself in a relationship, then they can respectfully move away, or you could respectfully, detach from that type of connection. So the first card we have is breaking up. Whether it's official or emotional, a breakup has happened. What once held you together can no longer hold your growth. For some of you, you could have outgrown some sort of situation that you were dealing with. It could be because some of you were not on the same page about the type of relationship you wanted, like the future, the outcome, not wanting kids, wanting to get married, not wanting to get married, not wanting to live together or not live together, that type of thing. The most important things, you have to be on the same page. For some of you, you could see that you weren't on the same page, that you didn't have shared values, you weren't aligned in a certain way. So you and this person may have mutually decided to break up, or some of you or somebody decided to break up. With the secret admirer, there may be somebody that may be watching you who may know you, and it says there's someone in your orbit who's totally into you, but they haven't found the nerve to make a move. So like I was going to say, was that there may be somebody around you that you don't even realize has a crush on you. They like you. You don't realize that, of course, because if you're in the middle of a breakup, there is some sadness, because sometimes, if you feel emotional connection to somebody and the relationship is ending, you're still going to be sad, even if the relationship, you're going to be mourning what the relationship could have been, like how you imagined it being, So when they say it's important for you to go through the process of grieving a relationship, because you're most likely going to be grieving what you thought you were going to have that didn't come to reality. It didn't come true. But anyway, this person may not be wanting to come forward because they're waiting for you to, kind of finish that off. Or it could be the fact that you're not even aware that that this is the whole point of me saying that, you don't even realize that there's someone who is around you that likes you, because you're still in the midst of healing from a relationship. But this person is infatuated with you. They like what they see. But the thing is, it's like if this person was to come forward, if you want to know what you missed, you're going to have to scroll back. Shapeshifter. You're going to have to scroll back, because I'm not going to read all of that again. So infatuation, it feels electric, but remember, it's easy to mistake a new crush for love, but keep your heart in check while you ride the high. So this person, if they do come forward to you, if they finally find the nerve to come towards you, it's important for you to have that kind of communication with them, where you're both on the same page. Like I said, you have to be on the same page. You have to talk about like what it is you're looking for, what is your future goals, what you see for in a future relationship, or at least one that you're going to put your time and energy towards, because you don't want to just be spending time with people when it doesn't lead anywhere. When you actually want to be in a relationship, you want to get married, you want to have kids, you want to move in, you want to do this and that, you want to travel, you want to do all these different things. The person needs to be in the same page as you. But it's a matter of also having open communication with this person, especially if you've experienced in the past that you've wasted time finding out if you're wasting your time not having this conversation with the past person. It's like, no, this is a conversation you should have in the beginning. At least, think about it. If a secret admirer was to come forward and express, is what, you're going to jump into a relationship with them? No. You got to get to know them, or get to know them in a different level. Because if this is someone that you already know, the type of interaction you may have with this person, maybe this person is going to come and find out and do a little bit of snooping themselves, like to kind of get an idea about how you are. If you're open, they may find out that you're maybe in the midst of grieving or healing from a past relationship. But then, this person may have feelings for you, may develop feelings for you. But the thing is, you got to know if this is something that you want. You don't want to waste nobody's time, not theirs, not yours. You know, some of you may be choosing to love yourself. Loving yourself is the ultimate romance. Invest in you, grow, glow, and get to know how great you really are. Some of you could have been in situations where you felt like you were settling, and it's probably because some of you didn't really take time to get to know yourself and know what you like. Maybe relationships were like that kind of thing where you just end up jumping into relationships and then that's it. You know, like, oh, you like me? I like you too. Let's be in a relationship. But then there's no conversation. There's no learning about each other, you know? But then you end up getting connected with people who just want to play games, that don't want to take things seriously. They don't necessarily have to be playing games, but I'll read what it says. They've got game, but is it real? Keep your eyes open and don't fall for surface level charm. You know, don't fall for surface level. And it says keep your eyes open. Don't be looking at things because of oh my gosh, I could just imagine us having a child and living in the farm. And, you know, I don't know why I do that voice, but I don't know why I do that voice, but it just reminded me of a video I did a couple months ago. Like, somebody's not into you. I should repost that short. That shit was funny. But yeah, you like, if you love and value yourself and you know who you are and what you will stand on, then you will clearly see when someone is playing games with you, you know? But also this, and they don't necessarily have to be playing games. Maybe they don't take relationships seriously, you know? They may not take relationships seriously. They may think it's that type of connection is all fun and games until somebody's like, "Where's my wedding ring? Like, where's my engagement ring?" You know. Ain't nothing wrong with living on a farm, you know. I'm talking about somebody. It's like already like thinking about the future, even though they have no future with this person. But I feel like some of you, like if you could be meeting somebody that aligns with you, that you could have a happily ever after, but it's about taking the right steps, not making the same mistakes. Stop making the same mistakes. Get to know the person first before you even allow yourself to become infatuated by them, you know? I feel like I'm talking to myself right now. I feel like I'm talking to myself right now. Get to know them. Don't get emotionally invested until you know that they're worthy of an investment. You know, your time, your love, your energy. But for some of you, this is going to come with a happily ever after. You're no longer wondering if it's the right person. You're building something beautiful with them. So in order for there to be something built, you have to have those open and honest conversations, you know, and that is what lays the groundwork where you could build a stable, firm foundation that is unshakable. Some of you may subscribe to the twin flame thing. I don't know about that. I mean, it sounds all nice and stuff. I did some research. It sounds nice and stuff. But it says they are your counterpart in growth, healing, and divine purpose. That's why it feels so intense. So for some of you, you could be meeting somebody where it could be that type of connection, or it could be something that you broke up from, because not all twin flames apparently are meant to be forever, together forever, you know? Some of them are just meant to be, to help you grow and then heal parts of yourself that, you know, were left unhealed and help you evolve. And then you can find the person that is your person, your soulmate. Because they say the soulmate connections are more comfortable and peaceful and not as stressful or anxiety inducing. But twin flames, they say it's like they are mirrors. They show you who you are, you show them who they are, and you're supposed to learn, grow, and heal. Sometimes the connection gets very strong that one person wants to run away and then another person chases, and it could sometimes the roles can switch where the person that was the runner becomes the chaser and the person that was chasing becomes the runner. It's like a dumb game of tag, you know. It's like the dog head chasing the tail and the tail chasing the dog head. Think about it. It's ridiculous. But then it says like all of this is going to happen in divine timing. But the first and most important thing that we all must do before this happens is we must love ourselves. We must create boundaries. We must protect our beautiful hearts. That doesn't mean we have to put it in a cage and hide it in a cave somewhere. It just means that we protect it. We don't allow certain things to make us be too sensitive about certain things, like where like if somebody disappoints us, it's like, well, disappointment is a part of life. But the thing is, disappointment is tied to expectation. And if someone doesn't know your expectation and then they don't meet the expectation, they're going to disappoint you. So basically you cause your own disappointment. Now, if the person knows your expectation and then they don't meet the expectation, then they are the cause of the disappointment. Okay. This is where we got to know when we're accountable and when someone else is. Right? But the most important thing is you got to love yourself. Take care of yourself. Focus on your growth. Focus on self-care. Learning about yourself. Doing whatever it is you need to do. Depending on whatever you think you need to do for yourself. It says things may feel slow and uncertain, but the universe is right on time. Love is unfolding exactly when it's meant to. So some things aren't meant to be forced. It's supposed to happen when it's meant to happen. Now, the soulmate, I don't think so. The thing is, we have multiple soulmates, like our mothers and the fathers are soulmates, because remember, soulmates aren't only romantic people. They could be our friends. They could be our colleagues. I have a friend that I work with, and I consider her a soulmate. I consider her like she's like my soul sister. I say she's my sister from another mister, and your family could be your karmic. That's some shit, right? That's possible. Like they have a karmic family member, but soulmates, I don't think it's something that's they grow into it. I don't think so. Because soulmates are the people who are like, I would suggest you do research, because it's hard for me to explain it the right way without pulling out my phone and reading it and then interpreting it, Hi, Paula. Exactly. Yeah, the playing games. That's why you have discernment. In order to have a discernment, you have to look at things clearly, not allow yourself to be clouded by illusions. Like the infatuation card says, it feels electric, but remember, it's easy to mistake a new crush for love. Keep your heart in check while you ride the high. Because sometimes we could get lost. I want to say lost in the sauce, but and think about the sauce, emotions, we could get lost in emotions that's what happened with me. So it's like you got to see things for what they are. If you and the person are on the same page, then that's not your person, But soulmates and it depends on how you feel about a person, because people use twin flame and soulmate like it's going out of style. Okay, then my card's right. Make sure I got it right. Let's see. All right, let's see what this breaking up is. Page of Wands. Remember earlier I was talking about the playing games card, that somebody didn't really take relationships seriously? The Page of Wands is a young energy. Very curious. So some of you could have broke up with somebody because this person wasn't ready to settle down. They still were what they call sowing their wild oats. You think it's just like that for me, shapeshifter? You are out of your mind. I overthink to the max. I overthink. Like I could be could get attached to someone emotionally, but then my brain does its own little thing. So my heart and my brain be like in two different planets doing their own separate processes, and that's where it's important to have this and this aligned. Because if this is going off somewhere thinking about the worst case scenario, and then here it's like, oh, but this is this is that, like, but I love them. So for me, it's like my thoughts can override my emotions. Because I have like that fatalistic, nihilistic mindset about certain things. Like I tend to look at the worst case scenario. So the Page of Wands, breaking up. Some of you could have broke up with somebody because you felt like they really, maybe they were immature. You felt like they were emotionally immature, that they didn't take things seriously, or okay. And then the King of Wands came out in reverse. This person could be very prideful, egotistical, or like I was saying, this person could be immature. They couldn't be an adult, but they could act like a child. So they could be a fire sign energy. Peter Pan syndrome. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid, Maybe their name is Jeffrey. I don't know. Yeah. So like sometimes I catch myself having little fantasies. I'm like, no fantasies. Nope. Those fantasies, throw them out the window. They're useless. Like I said, our ideas, our thoughts, they're just ideas and thoughts. That doesn't mean they're real. Okay. So like the little fantasies I have, I'm like the garbage. Like I need like a little garbage bin, like I'm just imagining a little garbage bin, but like the one that you step on and it opens. Oh, for real? Okay. He's a Leo. Okay. I don't really like, because the same page card. I don't know, how would we clarify that? Come on, let's see. The Two of Wands. Two of Wands with the same page card. It's like I kept saying, like, it's about when you're someone are on the same page, it's about future actions, like what choice, what path to take, what is it do you envision for your future? This is what you, like, if you meet somebody new, and just because, like, like they say, oh, you shouldn't bring that up but no, why? When are you supposed to bring it up? After you had the 10th date and you already were intimate with them? No, you want to know this shit ahead of time. This is a conversation that you need to have. But then, of course, like Shapeshifter said, some people be lying, and so you got to make sure that this person is a person of their word. Like they mean what they said. They're not just saying what they want you to hear, but they're speaking honestly, like they have honest intentions. But definitely the same page is about like sharing like what your future goals are. You have the Ace of Wands with the Knight of Swords. Sharing what your future goals are. Because you think about it, like if you and a person, you have your own idea, right? Your own action, what action you would take in a relationship. You also have to see what the other person's, what their intentions are for the future. You have your intentions, they have theirs. Theirs, you need to know, does it align with you? Is that second one theirs, or does it belong to somebody else? Is there somebody else that's going to take action, that's going to lead to this happily ever after? We have an air sign energy with a Knight of Swords. So someone who is the Knight of Swords is someone, like when you think of swords energy, is clarity, is truth, is honesty, it's ideas, thoughts. I feel like whoever this person could be that you may be meeting, that you can have this is someone who has integrity. They act with integrity because the Knights are the action oriented. Yes, the Knight of Swords is known as being impulsive, but in this context, we're talking about someone who is in the same page. This is someone who communicates with honesty. Their honest intentions. They act with honesty. They act with integrity. So it could be a Knight of Swords energy, like those any air sign energy. It doesn't have to be. The energy is basically someone who communicates. Maybe very quick with the communication. They could be very smart, funny. They may have an interesting nose. Because I keep looking at this bird and the nose kind of has like that hook. So they may have an interesting nose. I'm not saying they're gonna have like a parakeet nose or something. Some people have noses like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's part of your culture. That's a part of your ancestry, your ethnicity. So if you got a hook nose, there ain't nothing wrong with it. But if you feel like you have to change it, then do what you feel is right for you. Because I know people don't really like having a nose like that, and I don't know why the hell I'm talking about that. But some of my companies, I don't want anybody with a big hook nose. Some of those noses are nice, Okay, let's see let's find out about the secret admirer. Yeah. As long as you're acting with integrity, Some people act impulsively because they have no self-control, Page of Swords. This is so cute. This is so cute. I love this because there's someone in your orbit who's totally into you, but they haven't found the nerve to make a move, right? The secret admirer card, right? And then we have the Page of Swords. And we all know, if you watch enough tarot, that the Page of Swords is the person that watches, observes, gathers data, information, intel, but then it's like they haven't found the nerve. And then this is like somebody who's juggling, balancing. I feel like they're trying, they don't know when is the right time to approach you. This person is like with the Two of Discs, that's basically the Two of Pentacles. This person is probably not sure how to approach you. And they may maybe feel like they're waiting for the right time to make their move. They may be thinking about how can they approach you? Is there a soft way to do it without them facing possible rejection? Because you usually, they don't want to lose. With the Five of Swords, this person wants to come forward and they want to win. In the sense that when they come towards you, they want to be sure that you are not going to reject them, So it's like they're strategizing, what will be the best way to come towards you, to approach you, with letting you know, this, like I said, this could be look, the Judgment card came out. Yeah, they're waiting for maybe they're waiting for you to give them a sign and signal, because you see up there's this angel, and the angel, he's the archangel. It's usually Archangel Gabriel. I remember reading, I think yesterday I said Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael protects us. Archangel Gabriel is a messenger. He's waiting for the right time. I said Gabriel. Gabriel is a girl's name, but Gabriella. So, and I'm thinking about Archangel Michael. Somebody's name could be Michael. They could be Gabriel. Could start with a letter M or a G. You never know, right? Oh, I love that. This, I'm going to be honest. I really don't like when people, this is me being judgmental, and I don't care. People can do whatever they want with their bodies, right? But I get sad when I see people get surgeries to make their noses look like European people. And we talking about, what I'm talking about, those noses that certain people have. And they basically erase their culture. I'm like, no, our noses are part of our culture, So I know there was this girl, and when I was in undergrad, and she had a interesting nose. But I told her, I was like, I love your nose. And she's like, you do? I was like, yeah, your nose is so cool, like our nose adds personality, But some people are self-conscious, so I understand that. But to completely erase your culture to make yourself look like a totally different, We're not different races, but let's go with the language of the whoever the hell was that guy that classified things. I forgot his name. That white guy. It was a white guy that made classifications and scientific like species and shit like that would to classify people or classify us or plants and whatever. Like I don't know. I don't understand why people do that. I can understand you want to minimize it, but completely erase the fact that you are Arabic or that you are Latino or Native American or, see, this is why makeup is nice. So you can play around with it without having to get rid of your identity, your cultural identity when it comes to your physical. But but people can do whatever they want, because there's things I want to do, not to my face, but like to my boobs and my tummy, like But anyway. Wait, all of our ancestors look crazy. They were dirty. They had like fur all over their body. I'm talking about the cavemen. But anyway, I need to stay on track. So judgment. Yeah, I contour my nose too, but no, not now. I'm not contouring my nose today, but I use bronzer and I just brush it like that because I feel like my nose is a little crooked in some way, so I try to make it look a little even. So, but I love my nose, my treasure. They used to call me treasure trove. I'm like, and they're cute. I mean, they look a little weird, but they had a cute nose, I love my nose. But I'm not talking about that because remember, throughout history, in our evolution as human beings, our bodies adapted, evolved, So it's like we lost the caveman, look, but it's still there within us. We have the spirit of cavemen or cave woman, cave people. But the judgment, it's like somebody's waiting for the sign, the signal from you when it's okay for them to come forward. But they may be like hemming and hawing. Judgment is Scorpio energy. And look at this, like 6 of Wands came out at the bottom. And that has to do with like success. Like this person wants to know that if they come forward towards you, express their feelings towards you, that it's going to be successful, that you're going to be accepting or welcoming to them. Okay, you tell me about infatuation. Why is this person infatuated with the collective that resonates with this reading? Or wants to resonate with this reading? Let's see what this person's infatuated with. I don't know how close this person is to you. This person may like the fact that you're strong, that you've gone through stuff, or that you have a sense of resilience to you, because the 10 of Swords came out. So why would a person like that? And I think, I'm going to tell you why this person, another reason is they like that you're single. You no longer attached to anybody. Like it's over. That's one reason why they're infatuated with you. I think they're happy that you're single. But they could also like that you're strong, that you could be someone who is, because the Swords is, let me see, Nine of Cups. This is what I'm thinking, because look at her. Well, how does she look? How does she look in this card? She looks like she's free. I think this person is glad. I don't know if this person knows, or well, if they were watching and gathering intel, they probably know that you were dealing with a shitty type of situation and that they like the fact that you're free from it. With the Nine of Cups. But this person could also like, because I think this person thinks that you're like a wish fulfillment, because the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. This person thinks that you can make them happy, or they could make you happy, or both of you will be happy together. They could see that. If this person already knows that you're no longer tied to another connection, that you've liberated yourself, they could really be very observant, getting some sort of information, seeing you for, the fact that you've moved on, that you're focusing on yourself. You're putting your, like, Ace of Swords too. They like how you know what I want to say? I think this person likes the way you communicate. They like your ideas. I don't know how this person will know this. I don't know if you're like somewhere, some place where they could see a lot. It possibly, like, it could be like someone that you've interacted with. I think this person likes the way you think. Who else? What else? What else? What else? I think they also like your how focused and dedicated you are to certain things that you put your energy towards. They may like your passion. They may like how you're passionate about your ideas, your beliefs. Well, I'm getting a day. Be honest. All right, let me see what the loving yourself. I didn't get any. Oh, just the Emperor card is at the bottom of the deck. Remember, like, how could this person know anything about you? How could they know if you're in a relationship? I don't know if this person, you work with them. The Emperor is Aries energy, but I'm thinking, like, the fact they like your ideas. They think you're smart. They like the way you communicate. I wonder if this person is like a boss energy. Someone who could be your boss or a boss. Okay. Why is this coming up again? Because when I started doing readings early on my channel, this energy came up. Oh, 8 of discs. Look at the 8 of discs. Is someone who's very focused, dedicated. Someone who's working. This person, you may work with them. This could be somebody you work with. They could be your boss. They don't have to be your boss. They could be somebody else's boss. They may know about you because they are higher up in some way. But they may... People don't like to talk shit anyway. Okay, so let me see. So the loving yourself. But also, because I was going to clarify the loving yourself, and the 8 of discs fell out. I'm going to move this card to loving yourself, but this could be tied to this. It could be somebody you work with, because I just say the boss energy, and this could be somebody you work with, but I think you're loving yourself, you're putting your energy towards yourself, you're focusing on your self-care, focusing on the projects that on your projects. I got the 7 of Wands, you have your boundary up. Some of you are protecting your energy, protecting your space, creating boundaries. You're very much focused on what it is that you want for the future. You're going towards whatever it is that you want. You're like someone who goes after what they want. And that could be something that this person likes too, that you go after what you want. You don't let anything stop you. You have an idea, you go after it. The Fool, new beginning. It's like you're closed out of some sort of cycle in the past with this break up energy, and then you putting yourself first, Ace of Cups, and that could be one of the reasons why this person likes you too. It's infatuated with you, because when you do that, and that makes you more beautiful, more attractive, because you're taking care of yourself. And when you're not stressed and depressed, you know, you look better. You know, you look way better. And this person could be seeing that too, seeing you loving yourself, you putting yourself first. And that's why they may be infatuated with you. Oh, wow. Hey, if that thing still works, he could still have a crush on you, you know? Bing, bing. Yeah, playing games. We got the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius energy. They got game, but is it real? Keep your eyes open and don't fall for surface level charm. You know, like, because I don't know, like some of you, if this breakup energy and playing games together, some of you could have been dealing with somebody who may have caused some sort of imbalance in your life and was doing everything they could to, you know, because like I said, this person may not have taken things seriously. They thought that everything was a game. They didn't take relationships seriously. They didn't take the connection seriously. You weren't seeing things on the same page. This person could have been immature. But with the playing games, yeah, this person did what they what they had to do to win. But if we take that context of another person playing games, it could be you no longer engaging with playing games. You establishing some sort of boundaries, establishing your expectations for yourself, also knowing what your standards are. You're gonna be like, this is part of the healing, you know, you taking that energy that you were probably putting in connections that never amounted to anything, but pouring it into yourself, restoring your balance. Remember, there's a short where I said, like, you taking your cup and you're pouring your love back in your own cup because you're like, give me my love back. Some of you may be doing that, and that's restoring balance. You know, it's allowing you to take that energy, but you're using it towards something productive, something where you can see success, where you can pour into successfully. And you're no longer playing games. And if the only games you're playing are the ones that you know you're going to win, they're going to work out in your favor. And it's not like childish or anything. It's like more like strategy. Because you see poker. Some of you could be like having that poker face. I'm thinking about poker for some reason. You know, you're keeping your cards close to your chest. You know, you're holding your cards close to your chest. Because you're not going to be as open or as vulnerable as you have been in the past, because it hasn't served you well. You know? Yeah, the Queen of Wands came out. Look at that. You're going to be standing in your power. But regardless if you're a masculine or feminine, you're going to be standing in your power. You know, this person was the King of Wands in reverse. They probably were doing things off their ego, trying to make themselves feel good. But you were like, yeah, I'm going to do what feels good, but I'm not going to be hurting people in the process. I'm not going to be playing games. And you know, it's making me think of that song I listened to, Intuition. She says, I'm playing games and I'm making rules that what's that song? Because I like that song. And I'm making rules, something like that. Let me look it up. I like that song. It's from DJ Encore and Angelina. Intuition lyrics. Well, I don't care about, I don't know about the soccer scores. I'm trying to stay away from that. Intuition lyrics, DJ Encore. She says, I'm playing my own game now. I'm making rules. I won't pretend. When intuition conquers you, you will win in the end. So like some of you, like you think about the Queen of Wands, she's magical, she's mystical. Now I'm thinking about the Puddle of Mud song. What's it called? who is schizophrenic cycle, yeah. Maybe I'm the one. He says like something about magical and mystical, you know. So some of you may be like very much in tune. Like this healing will also help you can reconnect to your intuition too. Sometimes that happens because if you're not here and here are misaligned, then you don't know what's ego and what's intuition. So, but like I said, some of you are making you're playing your own game and you're making the rules. You're not pretending. You know, you're standing on business. You're standing in your power, and you're only going after things that you know you're going to win. And the Two of Cups. Oh my God, I love this. Look at the Two of Cups at the bottom. With a happily ever after. See? This is what happens when you put yourself first. Because then you start to align with somebody who's going to also prioritize you. I mean, you're not going to be number one because, you know, number one is yourself and their number one will be themselves. But outside, they will prioritize you. Maybe some of you felt like you weren't prioritized with this other person too, for whatever reason. I hope you liked this reading. I liked it. That's why self-love is important, you know. Self-love is taking care of yourself, you know, taking care of your needs and not putting yourself second to anybody. Because if you're depleted and you don't have nothing to give anybody, then you're gonna be running on fumes, you know. Yeah, always like and some people are like, oh, that's selfish, you know. Like if you're like as parents, if some of us are parents, I know Ariel, you're a parent like me, you know, we think that we're supposed to sacrifice ourselves. But the thing is, in order for us to really take care of our children or take care of the people we love, we have to make sure that we're loving on ourselves too, because that's how we're giving our best, you know. But that doesn't mean we're giving our all where we're depleted, you know. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? Nobody's gonna put you first, because that means you will go above them, you know. So, and anybody like who would ask that of you or ask that of me or ask that of anybody else here in Shapeshifter and anybody else who's watching, that's selfish, you know, because you have your life before and after that person. You know, you have a life together, but still you got stuff inside yourself that's separate from that person. Like that person ain't gonna wipe your butt when you use the toilet. You're gonna wipe your own butt, you know, maybe when you're older and if they're able to, you know, and you need them to help you because you're at that nursing home age, maybe they'll wipe your butt. But right now, no. Hopefully we're wiping our own butts, you know. I know that's gross. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is that we have to put ourselves first, you know. You know, like I know even when we have kids, we still need to make sure that we're properly rested, but then that helps when we have support. If you're not supported, then it seems like you had to put yourself as second, you know? Oh, yeah, exactly. You can't pour. Exactly. That's so true. If you can't show up for yourself, then how can you show up for others? And I think if you think about it, that's how we're trained to be, though, not to show off ourselves. We feel like we have to sacrifice ourselves. But to a certain point, at a certain point, we have to realize that when we're doing that, we're doing ourselves a disservice. We're neglecting ourselves. Especially if nobody's doing the same for us. It's not fair. It's not right. We have to put ourselves first. And usually the people that say, oh, that's selfish, are the people that expect you to put them first. The people who think they're important, you know? Like, I'm important to me. You're important to you, right? First, you know? And then it's all right. Now, I want to know this. I don't know. But it's like a generational thing, I think. I was watching this video and I talked about it really briefly I tried to be brief about it, but it was a video about the what moon is and how it impacts our earning potential. But it was more directed towards women because, um, and this is more like I don't know, maybe it's European and US. I think it's everywhere. Anywhere where women aren't seen as equal as men, where we're paid less than men. Our work isn't as valued as a man's as men's work, you know? Like they were talking about how like certain fields that women are a part of, like teaching, social work, any like feminine driven working careers, feminine careers, they call it. And I'm using quotations because I want people, I don't believe, like, I think people could be whatever they want to be. Like a man could be a nurse and a woman could be a welder, you know? But the thing is, it's like when a woman's work is like less valued than man's work, right? A men's work or whatever. I can't even speak properly. But the whole video was, I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but she was talking about where our Lilith moons are and how institutions instill this value that women's work is not valuable. How throughout history, through like the witch trials and different laws that prevented women from owning property, even working, and how they turned women's work into free labor and within the household where we become dependent on men financially. That played a part in why women aren't paid as equally as men are. And I know in certain fields where they have like unions and union contracts, basically, that may not be the case. I think, but I could be wrong, you know. But it's like in fields like maybe like private areas, private fields or private organizations or corporations, they get to decide how much money a person's going to be paid, and sometimes women are paid less than men. But that has to do with this thing that throughout history where they basically devalued women's labor into something that was eventually became free labor when women were forced to go home, stay home, and take care of the home, clean the home, take care of the family, the children, the husband, cooking, cleaning, all that stuff, you know. Yeah. Oh, my throat's getting dry. Well, that was an interesting video. Let me see if I could. I mean, it was kind of long because it was an astrology video, and it basically the video was saying that you should look at where your astrology is with the Lilith moon. And I look like a cartoon right now because the light's off. You see, I'm in New York and it's 7:14 p.m. Well, you see, we still have light out. But the person that did the video on let me just close this out. She wanted the people to like look at their Lilith moon placements and find out what the intersection is for arrows and stuff, and so you could see where the blockage could be when it comes to money. But it was more towards women, but I wonder, same thing for men, like people of color. You know, people of color's work is also devalued. Not because if you think about like history, and this is the idea I have, like I feel like women, people of color, immigrants, and even the LGBTQ plus community, we're all one group of people, and then everything else is everybody that's not in that, you know, falls under that, you know. And I'm talking about in the US. So it's like this is where there's power in numbers. If we were all to come together, then there'll be more of us than there is of them. And this is why we have a lot of divisiveness. I can only speak for the United States, you know. It may be like that in certain parts of Europe, but remember, we're heavily mixed. You know, we're heavily diverse here in the United States. I don't think it's that much in other countries. But we have a lot of diversity within the United States because we have a lot of people immigrating into the United States, or we did before, you know. And that's like, this is where the xenophobia comes from, you know. It's that fear of power being taken away from them. Yes, what they say, divide and conquer. They do that. Yeah, like mother's work is like, is invaluable, it's priceless. You can't put a price on that. I mean, there's some mothers that are crappy mothers, like they should not have children. I'm gonna be honest, we know, we hear about these people all the time that don't deserve to have because of the things that they do to their children. But the mothers that, you know, I guess we could say the mothers that made sacrifices for their children to make sure that they had a good life. And then yeah, their work is invaluable. You can't put a price tag on that. But I think that's when people see that, they start to look like, hey, like a person that's the LGBTQ, every like woman, people of color, immigrants, LGBTQ, even people who are undocumented or whatever, like we're all like, we're in the same group. And I don't want to say we're against a certain group, but you know, and because we have allies too, but then we gotta like, we're against, like there's more of us than there is in the system, you know. But that's how I always thought about it, you know. But that's some people, they want to stay with the belief or mindset that, like, I mean, it's like a curse in a way, if you think about it. They're like what do you call it? It's like a spell. Like some people are still under a spell where they think that humans are, if they have different colored skin or speak a different language or have an accent or whatever, that they're not human. When we all know we all bleed the same, we all have the same organs, you know. So we all cry when we get hurt. I mean, unless you're a sociopath and you have no feelings or something, but yeah, exactly. Like evil knows no. But that's why, like, the spell. And you know what I find interesting? When people of color turn against their own people. I'm like, yeah, we can see the wrongs that we've done within our own communities and stuff. But the thing is like, that doesn't, why should you choose to believe that other people are better than your own people? And I mean own people, like your ethnicity and stuff. How we could turn our backs on our own culture. It's like, oh, you're basically buying into whatever is being, you know, drinking the Kool-Aid type of thing. You know, drinking the Kool-Aid. That doesn't go there. So it's getting to that point where I have to end this live stream. I thank you all so much for being here and listening to me talk about stuff that maybe I shouldn't be talking about, but you know, like, I don't think I'm saying anything controversial, okay? You know, I'm not saying anything that some other people don't think, you know. Maybe I'm speaking out loud for someone who shares the same sentiment as me, you know. But, so I thank you all so much for being here, for liking, for possibly subscribing. I should be on tomorrow. I may not come on, I may come on later, really late tomorrow. But I most likely will be on around 2 p.m. Eastern time, you know. So I'm gonna, oh, thank you, shapeshifter. I'm gonna be honest, like talking about stuff like that always made me uncomfortable, but I'm like, what? I'm not saying anything wrong, you know, and it's my opinion, you know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with an elite, but I'm not trying to, it's just an opinion I have, you know. It's the way I view things, you know. Some people agree with it, some people don't, you know. But I'm not here to try to change anybody's mind, you know. But I'm just like to think that I can give somebody something to think about, you know. But I thank you all for being here. Thank you, Shapeshifter. Thank you, Ariel. You were mostly here. Thank you so much for engaging with me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening ahead, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.